Alright, so we are at the end of the first qualifying session here, as we will just have a slight break before going into the second qualifying session. Before we do jump into the second qualifying session, I would like to just apologize if my voice sounds a bit off today. So, I'm having some problems with my throat currently, but we should be okay. So as we still have a cat on the track, for some reason holding a rose with a comical hand. If the cat could just get off track, please. As we head into the second qualifying session, led by Speed for Ages currently, as we leave the pit lane and go into the first couple of corners, we can see Speed for Ages in the Aston Martin still leading. Alright, from the stewards, we have just had a message. The cat should get off the pits because it may be distracting. Karl, are you currently with us? Oh, yes, okay.
Speed. Having a little bit of a tap there.
Yeah.
Let's see. We could see many of our fellow cameramen faced. Oh!
We've just had a spin.
That's a.
Who's just spun? I believe that was Millarasa spinning out, almost spinning out, with quite a quick recovery, showing why they deserve to be in F1 with those reflexes. I guarantee that many drivers would not be able to recover from such a spin. Only in F1, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I would like to.
In other news,
Yep.
in other news, the F2 series is planning to become a build-up to the main WORC series. How do you feel about this, Sub?
Well, my completely unbiased opinion, as I am obviously a team
I
principal
also have a
in
completely
F2.
unbiased opinion. If you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, obviously, I can say High Tech Racing has not found a partner team for the main work league yet.
Oh, it's WORC.
Yeah.
Instead of that.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
thanks for the note.
Who's on their who was on their roof there? Was that Spark or was that Miller? Oh my gosh, I believe that was Miller on the roof there. Some very interesting things happening.
We could see a little bit of a Tokyo drift happening there. Just after the castle sector. It's very magical to see that. A bit of that Tokyo drift.
Definitely.
Mino surprisingly exited the session.
Yeah, cannot appear to enter the camera for some of the driver. Okay, there we go.
Just gonna.
Let's get an on board with Lewis here.
Speed!
Let's see the time. Lewis is still going to sit in second place with a time of
Dark.
1 minute.
Finally, McLaren doing some improvements after being last in the championship. Finally, doing some improvements. They are in a very dangerous spot, even behind teams like RB.
Yeah, definitely it is interesting to see some improvement from some of our teams on the grid.
Okay, back to dark it is. With the McLaren. Let's go out of the pits with him.
Oh, what is he doing there? Warming up the tires in quite an interesting way there. That's not
drivers are trying to take the last improvement they could possibly get.
Yeah, definitely. Improvement is needed here. Speed for Ages has set that 1:15.8 time. Is that unbeatable? We'll have to see, as Lewis is setting out for another lap here.
Did you take that identical time screenshot?
Yeah, I did. I definitely
I asked you. Great. Great. I have to say that. I was 1 in 1,000 maybe, or maybe more than 1,000. Poco is trying to chat with me. Yeah, Poco, what about it? Poco?
Alright, yeah.
Yo? Okay, back to commentating this. Yeah, yep. Something in general just happened real quick.
Alright, no problem.
Yeah,
Swing
send
CTP
send a
phrases.
screenshot of Q1.
Alright, no problem. I can do that for you.
Not my problem. I'm just not my problem. Okay then. That is you're the kind of set. Mino setting a pathetically slow time of 1:33. Oh, that's
Yeah, that really is not a good time
problem.
at all. Especially in a Scuderia Ferrari.
It's worth it that the stewards are here with us, so if they have some controversial decisions, they could explain.
Yep, definitely. That would be very nice to have. As we can see the drivers warming up to these few corners. I say that as Mila just spins many
That
times on those corners. You'd think a driver would get used to these many corners on Baku, but no, it is a track to remember for our drivers. Dare I say, it could even cause them PTSD. It is such a difficult track to learn and know.
Poco is replacing Starman today in the Alpine.
There's going
It's
to
worth
be
noting.
interesting to know, as I believe that's going to be a pit start, won't it? Since no times were set.
Okay, so that's orders are set, which means speed, Louis, sweet, dark, Mino, hyper.
Alright, that is Starman on his account.
Okay, so that's speed, Louis, sweet, speed, Louis, sweet, dark, uh, Mino, hyper, bark, and who was there after? It was uh uh hold on, it was I swear to God, it was your ace. Okay, so it's speed is sweet dark Mino hyper bark. Can you tell me ace can you tell me who was P9 and 11? Can you tell me real quick? Just tell me that, okay?
P9 was Kasva.
Cas
Yeah,
Caswa.
yeah.
Okay, who was P10? Continue.
P10 was Vintage, and P11 was Accubles.
Uh, who was P11?
Accubles was P11.
Okay, send. Okay. Uh, I have short-term memory loss. I swear. How many laps? 28.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I swear I have short-term memory loss at
Alright,
only
22.
13. 22 laps of I swear to God. I'm sorry, Beth. I'm not the best at my job, okay?
Alright.
Okay. So let me just quickly zoom in here. Oh. Shift P out of Shift P. Should we reset laps? Reset
Where did
corner
Dark
cat.
qualify on the grid?
P4. P4 for Dark.
Alright. So we're not doing a formation lap then. That could end in disaster.
No.
On this track. Alright, and it is 5 red lights.
And away we go with the Azerbaijani Grand Prix here. Let's see who can get the better start out of them all. Speed is looking firmly today. Fighting with Lewis here.
Yeah,
Just switching positions left and right.
The leaderboards
and remember, it's all equal machinery. So, as it looks like, Speed went for a zero-stop strategy. Lewis second. Accuballs from last to third for Accuballs. That is one heck of a jump.
Oh, a bit of spins there still through the corners from all of our drivers.
Oh.
Let's just make sure all of our drivers
one's got already. One's front wiggers.
Oh my gosh. I believe we've just had Accuballs' front wing absolutely gone. That's going to be definitely he's going to have to be forced to pit for that. There's no negotiating. As we will enter the second lap now, we will go on board with Lewis Pro Player as he goes through the first couple of corners here. DRS will be toggled on lap 3, say the stewards.
So the order is currently Lewis, Speed, Minnow, Hype, and Vintox in the Red Bull, in the RB, excuse me.
Oh my gosh, that is going to be a front wing on the track that I just saw there. Vintox black and orange, alright. Yeah, that was Vintox's front wing
Nice.
We just saw on the track.
Very nice race for the Red Bull second team for RB.
Oh, Vintox just spun a bit, although he's managed to recover the car slightly.
If he does like a one. Oh, that is an interesting move by your ace, and that's a yellow flag in sector 2. Quickly turned it. Oh,
wow,
Vintox.
Your ace hitting the barrier once again.
Yeah.
There may be some problems with the tires already.
Yeah. Very hard race for Accuballs. Really have to talk with him as Minnow goes into the pits to repair his front wing. Lewis is leading firmly. Behind him is Speed by plus minus a second. Hyper in the RB for third. Red Bull really should consider upgrading him to their first team, especially if he finishes on the podium. Yeah, don't you think?
We will have to see. Oh, as we have a very good fight here between Hyper and Dark right here. That is such an interesting fight going through the most difficult corners of the track.
Kaswara is lapped. He is lapped.
Ooh, that is very interesting.
Oh, your race isn't really one of the luckiest drivers.
Once again.
Clear, all clear.
Oh, your race spinning again into the barrier, just slightly tapping it.
I think your race is becoming the second, Chikaboto from the last race.
Yeah,
he's
I'd
just
like to
trying to desperate. Just want FIA investigation on your race, and is it just unluck or?
Yeah, we will not know for certain just yet, but I would like to remind you that Shigemoto does have a one race ban that is active for this
Yeah.
race due to apparently or allegedly, but proved by the FIA to be true then, um, intentionally crashing to create drama, quote unquote. So that is very interesting. As we see
Ooh.
speed closing in on Lewis here, but Lewis Pro Player manages to defend the lead for now. Black and orange to
Black and orange for
Spark.
Spark.
Yeah, is that going to be
This
another?
is
Yeah.
this is one of the FIA members. I'm just getting clear with that. He got race banned for basically crashing on purpose to screw up the race, which was I can't remember
Investigation
what
for
the
your
last race
ace
was.
on the is
Oh,
there
Lewis
going to
Pro
be
Player
an
hitting the barrier.
investigation on ace?
At the moment, I don't think we are. I'm thinking he was just having
Dark.
lag issues,
Oh
so
my goodness, Dark. Yellow flag, sector 1, that is.
Oh, that is a
For Dark.
devastating crash. However, Doc's slight gap there is going to save him for now. Oh my gosh, the car of Hyper has just been thrown there. Was that the car of Hyper? As we can see, a collection of front wings over there. Many, many front wings being
Yeah,
lost with the amount of
people,
bumps.
drivers start calling 10, 7. The,
Vintox, uh,
the front wing graveyard, and it's called like that for a purpose.
yeah.
So many front wings there. So much debris.
Is there currently a black and orange for Vintox or not? Because he is currently driving without a front wing. Oh, we've just had
Apparently,
a slight spin from Kaswara there. Going out, coming out of what I will for the rest of the race call the front wing graveyard. That is incredibly interesting. These fights here at the back of the pack, as we see Lewis gaining a bit of a
yeah.
lead on from speed here. Then with Parker in third place, 8 seconds behind, 9 seconds behind the rest of the pack. Black and orange for full moon currently.
Yeah, that's Kaswara,
Yeah.
if you didn't know.
All right, I will note that. Sorry. Which is plus 4 laps now. Would it even be worth continuing the race currently with so many being so many laps behind? What are your thoughts on this, Karl? Yeah, it's interesting of him to do that. That could end up in an investigation or even just an immediate ban. Could I don't even think that's something that they should investigate. I think that should just end up in either retiring the car or, dare I say, a one race ban, as we see
Oh,
a
that's an
very
epic
tight
side
battle.
by side in the castle sector between Speed and Lewis. Back to P1. Let's see who can get out on top of another as Speed is edging, edging.
Yeah,
Lewis can spot and he finally gets it. Massive. On the other hand, Akubals right there constantly performing better than the other Mercedes of Akubals, surprisingly. Oh, Vintox! Oh my goodness!
Wow, we've just had
Now there's some dangerous driving from Vintox.
yeah, very dangerous to I I have no idea what our drivers are doing today. Yep. Mhm. Mm. No.
Vintox making the decision to pit very lately.
Yeah, that
Oh, that is some interesting moves by Hyper there. Bit of
Papinaldo
riding
driving
on the castle sector,
without a front
but
wing.
yeah.
I'd like to remind you, still, it's been about 3 or 4 laps now. No black and orange yet.
Okay, Starman finally following the orders and going into the pit. Vintox gets lap. Kaswara! Oh my goodness!
Oh, that's another
Overview on
crash
Kaswara.
for the
That
Haas
is,
driver there. That is absolutely uh interesting, but still devastating. If I were Hesvara right now, I would
yeah,
not be happy with myself, not be happy with the car, just not be happy in general with the way my race is turning out.
yeah. Many people maybe took inspiration of Shoot for Men from the last race and
Yeah.
just copied him. Especially here in Baku, the only street circuit on the calendar.
Yeah, it is interesting to see that we only have one street circuit on the calendar. It is kind of unfortunate as I do sometimes prefer a nice street circuit. But yeah, anyway, that is how it is working. It is working well so far. So we still have a battle between Lewis and Speed going into lap number 11 here. The gap between P1, P2, and P2 and P3 is insane at a 33-second gap. That is such an insane gap there. Karl, would you like to add anything here?
Anyone, just basically anyone from P5 and below are in danger of getting lapped by the front runners who both chose hard.
Yeah, running
Although
on.
Speed is now miles ahead of Lewis, who has to box soon because he chose the soft tires instead of the hard like Speed. Speed going here on zero stop strategy, at least zero planned stop strategy.
Yeah, we have seen before these hard tires can last up to 30 laps. So, will he go and
Oh,
stop towards
oh,
the end, or will he just continue without pitting for the entire race?
that is Starman back to P3 for Alpine.
Yeah, that is interesting the way things are working out here. Oh, we've just had a spin from
Sweet
Sweet Jelly
Jelly had
there.
a little bit, how should I say, of a slide, of a drift.
Oh, Sweet Jelly
Oh,
has
oh!
completely spun out as he has been
Mm-mm-mm.
knocked back a few places there.
Yeah, dangerous driving from Sweet Jelly today, losing many places. And Mino, Mino should get a black and orange, honestly.
Yeah, there are 1 or 2 drivers that were driving around without that critical front wing there. Oh, Vintox as well, driving around once again without a front wing. Why he's not getting a
Oh,
black and orange, I do not know. How he keeps on losing his front wing, I don't know.
all we know, he keeps losing.
Yeah. On the one hand, you have Hyper sitting in P4 with a car that is not on par with the other cars for the sake of realism. And then we have Vintox sitting down in P11 with the exact same car. What does that tell you about driver skill? With most drivers
Don't
struggling.
worry. I know I shouldn't be a steward in the FIA. I shouldn't really. Oh, Lewis! Lewis
What
has
has happened to
disappeared.
Lewis? Yeah,
What has
I think
happened
he
to
might
him?
have crashed out there. What has happened to the
Where?
car in P3? If we could, uh, I'm going to attempt to.
Lewis is out of the race, apparently.
Oh,
We do
that's
not know
Vara
where.
having a
Oh!
spin there, losing his front wing. That is going to be another black and orange. Speed for Ages not having to contend with
Lewis,
anyone right now.
Lewis noted for retiring. Lewis is noted for retiring from the race.
Could it be lag? Did he crash? No idea what has happened to him. But
He's
crashing
just
in
out.
second place, that is absolutely
All we know that
devastating.
he's out. Okay. So very boring driving today. Speed not changing tires at all. Not making it dangerous for him. Zero stop strategy, you have to remember. He hasn't lost his front wing once. Anything. One. Not once. He's looking like the favorite. Unless something dangerous happens or he pulls a loose and gets
Yeah,
disconnected. Also, a quick reminder from the FIA, Speed has to pit. Even if he's on the hards, he has to
yeah.
pit.
He definitely
So,
does.
with him making a 33-second gap, is it a good time for him to box? What do you think?
I definitely think it is a great time for him to box now. But I will say he might be losing some time in that gap because, as we can see, Pocanaldo is sitting with the fastest lap of the race currently with a
That's
117.
Starman. Actually, that's
Yeah,
Starman. Ignore Poconaldo, it's Starman.
alright. Yeah, Starman sitting with the fastest lap so far.
Yeah, just continue without me. For now.
Okay. As we still see Speed for Ages starting to maybe slide a little bit on the hard tires, going into the graveyard here. We see him, we see the gap closing between him and Starman slightly. I will say the Alpines have been very good this season. Their drivers have been very, very good. Vint is noted for not pitting for a new front wing currently.
It's worth noting that Alpine and Aston Martin are both fighting for the WCC, which gets even more exciting when you consider that Speed is an experienced driver in many of Project Apex's top leagues.
Yeah. Um, it is interesting to see
Oh,
how.
we've got a note from Lewis. He crashed in the pit wall.
Oh, that's very, very unfortunate indeed. From Just Pro player there, that is very devastating news.
Very sad news for him.
As we see over the radio, Blot saying to Lewis, "Why did you crash into me?" That is quite um some drama there. Some slight bumps turning into
And remember,
giant
you can
drama.
always commentate on the race in the commentary chat.
Yeah, you can always do so. If I could have one moment, I will be back in approximately 30 seconds.
Back to racing we are. Speed leading P1. Starman in P2. Oh, Just had a little slide there. Speed is going to box. Let's see how that will turn out. I do that. Speed is over with his pitting. Has switched to soft tires for the last 5 laps. Let's see how that will work out. Apparently, he's not going to lose his lead as it is right now. Coco is miles behind him still. Even after he boxed, that is still a 21-second gap. Massive. Oh,
All
there's
right, we are back.
Kaswara here. That is Kaswara crashing.
Wow. Is that going to be another front wheel? Oh my gosh! What has happened to this
Haha.
car
Of
spinning out?
course, it wouldn't be a green flag for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Standard F1 proceedings, of course. 5 seconds, especially on Baku, is not a that's kind of an average time to have a green flag out on Baku, definitely. As we can see, Starman closing the gap here to speed slowly but surely. Speed must be under some pressure here, as I see why he has pitted for the softs.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we might have Acubals and a Dark battling here soon. Mercedes here. That it is a very impressive car still. Is it the best car on the grid? Maybe not. But
Oh,
it's
it's
all down to driver.
oh
Oh my
oh.
gosh. Those are some insane spins there.
It's worth noting that Akubal started the race in P11 and now is in P3. Good job for Akubals.
Yeah, a come up from P11 to P3 is such an amazing thing to do. I really do applaud him for doing that. But still, the fight must go on. There are still laps to do in this race.
Yeah, but it's not really that much laps. It's only 4 laps.
Yeah, but I
Let's
mean,
see if Speed can topple himself over. Maybe some interesting mixes will happen at the back of the
speed. Do
grid.
it for the content. No, I'm just kidding. Don't. Please do not crash on purpose. I'd probably lose my job for that. Please do not crash on purpose, anyone. So that is, of course, will give you a one race ban. But as we are heading into the final few laps of the race here, what are your thoughts on as we head into, of course, even the final few races of the season? What are your thoughts for
Yeah,
next season?
it's as Lewis himself said after he crashed in the pit lane, it's over for his World Drivers' Championship. It looks like Speed is the only favorite right now, unless he could make like a little comeback.
Ooh. Speed may be cutting the corner a bit too much there, as he is once again doing a track that he maybe at this point knows all too well, going down the same turns as we enter the pit straight once again. It is also a good thing to see that Sweet Jelly has worked his way up to 4th place and might start battling with Acubals soon. Is he going to have enough time to do that, or is he going to end up being like Verstappen and Hamilton in Silverstone?
You know, I do feel like Hype is a very big underdog in that race, especially if you consider that he's getting P6 in an RB,
Yeah.
whilst his teammate, while his family mate, that's a new word for you, um, Sweet Jelly is in P4 in a much stronger Red Bull. it's worth noting, even though we have equal cars on.
Yeah. Um, it is interesting, although kind of sad to see that he has fallen down from P4 into P6, although he is battling with cars way stronger than his driving ability is still incredible. As we have the gap
And
between.
it's worth noting that there are 4 races remaining: Canada, the US, and I do believe that's Czechia or maybe France. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And finally, Miami here
Yeah.
with the sprint of
Not a
Miami.
lot of time remaining, but Lewis might, after this devastating race that he has, or this devastating crash that he has just had in this race, he might be able to work his way back up onto the level of speed and take the Drivers' Championship. It is
Hmm.
a bit unlikely at this point, but it could still happen. You never know. We have Kisvara here, still racing 6 laps behind. As Dark gets a black and orange flag, he has also been lapped, along with Hyper. They have both been lapped here. Hyper making his way
And
back
that's
up
the
to 5th place.
penultimate lap here for speed, coming down the pit straight here. Final lap for speed. Almost everyone else except for ActiGoals and Pokémon are lapped. Let's see who could, if speed could deliver. As it
Yeah.
looks like he's taking the call. Let's
Actables,
get on
black
board
and
with speed.
orange.
On board with speed.
As Speed is going through the motions here, through the graveyard, he knows these turns all too well. He's done them countless times now, 22 times each
And
as he
as it
goes through.
seems, and as it seems, speed will get the